Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org comes to you this Thursday afternoon, April 4th. We're looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and NQ. A lot to speak about today. Market obviously nosedives in the last 2.5 hours of trading after once again having market-generated information that was favoring the bulls. They did it yesterday, although yesterday they didn't take out the day's low. Today they smash through both sides. Well, we had taken out the IB low earlier in D. Then we took out the IB high. Now, I wasn't expecting much at the highs. I thought the goal was to finally fill the single prints from that day, and they did. It was a clear rejection of the upper distribution from that day. But let's be honest. If anybody says they're expecting what transpired here, I through M, well, then I like to look at their crystal ball. Okay? Indices, value, overnight high, IB high, you name it, was still in favor of the bulls. Obviously, we gave that all back and more. Let's recap overall, and then we'll go into what's going on here. Righty ends with a double distribution day down. Righty was 8 for 8 wide, by the way, at one point. Look at this after that. Okay? 8 for 8 before they went trend. They end with a double distribution day, a price probe. They got both overnights, but they close inside of yesterday, so they don't have an outside day down. Balance for them on the daily. Okay? All they did was kind of stretch the balance today. Now, NQ. NQ goes out with a double distribution day, 3 sets of single prints, a price probe, an outside day down, and they're down on the daily. ES goes out with 4 sets of single prints, a price probe, and an outside day down. They're also down on the daily. So the weeklies are still balanced for ES and NQ, but the dailies are now down and an outside day down. I'm in bigger increments here, obviously, to keep us on the page. Volume never moved with this move, but it doesn't matter. There was when I show you the 30-minute chart, that's some of the heaviest volume we've seen for 4 time frames in a long time. This is our largest range of the year by far. $11.11. It's bigger than a second high, biggest range by over $4. Our volume is also going to be in the top 10. However, not crazy because this volume just only happened in the last 4 time frames. Okay? Only the last 4, J through M. But it's still going to be in the top 10. The question is, what transpired here? Now, I know Kardashi was speaking. A lot of Fed heads spoke. And I know he said if inflation continues, there might not be rate cuts. That is not enough. He's not even a voting member, if I'm not mistaken. That's not enough to take the market from a $3 range and push it down $8. No way by him. If it was Powell, if Powell came out and said, you know what, there's not going to be any rate cuts. Okay, not by him. These talking heads should shut up. The head coach should speak only, which is Powell. They could all give Powell their ideas, and then he's the one that relays everything. Because this is nonsense. But I do not believe this move was on that. I don't know what it was on. Just like the other day, the market had a significant move prior to jolts coming out. Right? Well, tomorrow's non-farm payroll. Now, again, like I told the room, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I do not believe in coincidences. But the market, you can't even say the market was really long for them to say, okay, I want out before non-farm payroll. The monthly was in balance. I'm sorry, the weekly and daily were in balance. The monthly was up, but nothing was suggesting at all this kind of liquidation break at all. So again, it makes me wonder if some things get leaked and you're always the last one to find out about it. Hope not. Hope that's not the case. That would really make the playing field unlevel because, I rely on market-generated information. And if that crap starts happening, then it would make for a whole new ball game. So I'm hoping that's not the case. Probably never find out, but you hope it's not the case. This has been a very tough week for the MGI. They've taken a lot of market-generated information and absolutely twisted it into pretzels. Okay? Now, I did end up having a good day. I didn't get stubborn. I did take losses in I and real quickly in J against the gap fill, but that was it. And then I knew well enough to switch to shorts in K, L, and M. So this week's been a tough week, but I ended up banging them out pretty good, especially in K and L today on the short side in NQ. I also told the room this is where you want to try to teach traders that are learning the profile how when, again, I'm a little bit too gray in the tooth to say, okay, I'm going to change my style. But I said, if you took a short at J's high, and we're going to use the single print fill as you're out, a one lot. Now, this was an L period. It wasn't even an M period, so it would have been even more money. Nothing told you to get out. So from 80, I'm just rounding out, from 88 to 195. Okay? It's almost 100 points on a one lot. It's pretty good, right? It's $5,000. In NQ on a one lot, you could have gone from 470, again, just rounding out, down to, I'll give it only 18.1. That's 360 points. You could have made $10,000, $11,000 between the two of these on a one lot. Nothing even suggested to get out of a short. There wasn't even like a real hard bottom feeder push up. There wasn't at all. And we closed them on their asses. So this was a powerful move. Does that suggest somebody else is selling it other than short-term players? It's possible. If it is, they won't walk away after today, right? There's no way long-term money would sell this for 4 time frames and then walk away. Remember, short-term plays can put on a lot of volume and move a market. They can do that. So it's still up for debate who was really selling this today. Okay? And more importantly, why. But I'm trying to explain to you, to people learning and watching. I mean, you watch these videos to get an education. And again, I did well in K and L in NQ. But again, a one lot with nothing telling you to get out of it once those gaps got filled. And no responsive bounce. That's what I thought might happen. Okay, anybody who says differently, again, you can go sit on your Lamborghini while you're telling me about it on Twitter. But I thought we would fill the gap and get a responsive bounce. So I took a long. I lost money on it, not a lot though. I knew to get out. Okay? I did not do it in NQ at all. I didn't long NQ at all. I took a long. Here's my 2 losses on the day. I took a long in I period. I thought it might be an afternoon pullback in ES. I took it off at D's high. I'm like, I'm out. I lost only 5 points. And then I took another long when we filled the gap, saying maybe we'll get a responsive bounce. We didn't. Went down. Got out again right away. So I didn't get hurt that badly. And I didn't even attempt to long NQ at the gap fill. By that point, I'm like, forget it. Longs are off the table. Now, prior to that, but what I'm saying is, before I get to my other trades, is if anybody can, honestly tell me with a straight face they were expecting what happened in J period down to happen, then I would love to know your reasons why, because I would like to learn. Doesn't matter how long I've been doing this, I would like to learn. But for my money's worth, the MGI wasn't suggesting it. There was no tempo. There was no volume. So that was not in the cards for me. Now, early in the day, I took a short in A period against the overnight high in ES right before the opening. Even though we got it, I still made money on it when it came down. And then I went over to NQ and took a long to get the overnight high and on any ebb and flow trading because the market was doing well. They had the gap. We had value. It's another thing I didn't even mention. The gaps we had today were pretty big. They generally don't get filled today, right? Now, they weren't huge, but NQ was over $3 and ES was 2.5. Not only did they get filled, we came in another $8. So, again. So, I was long in A period in NQ against first to get the overnight high and then the ebb and flow. Then I took a long in B period on the turnover. I'm like, I think the market should get a push up. And it did initially, but not much. And then when we took out A's low, I got long again because I'm like, the odds of going trend down with higher value, the gap, and another thing I haven't mentioned were the indices. We were up 0.8%. NQ is up 1.3%. So that's another reason I want an explanation from people to say why, if they really did think this was going to happen to the downside. So that's why I took the longs in B period in NQ. Then in E, I took a short. I'm like, we got the IB low. I took a short against halfback and value high at the time. I got paid, but not a lot. And I'm like, I'm not doing that again. This market looks like it wants to now start pushing higher. Okay? Remember, we didn't get the IB high right away in ES, and we never got an NQ, but we did have the overnight highs. Another big thing. We only get both sides of the overnight so far this year, 12 out of 65 trading days, including today. So then after that, I took those two losses, one in I, one in J in ES, against the afternoon pullback and the gap fill. But then right after that, I'm like, forget it. And then I just started looking for shorts. Now, I watched J. I was pretty amazed at what was transpiring here. So they kind of caught me flat-footed. I didn't buy it. But then K and L, I did very well on in shorts in NQ and also one in M period. So I had a good day overall. Certainly didn't maximize it because I didn't even get involved in J. However, like I tell the room, I went neutral. One thing that I didn't like the way the POC went back to D's high. So I went neutral, okay, in ES. But that doesn't mean I'm looking for a short right away when we start making new lower lows. Now, value did end unchanged after being higher. But there was so many things going in favor of the bulls. This was not a likely or expected scenario. So, anyway, I had a good day. It's been a really interesting week. I know this is a long video, but look, I try to be as honest as I can be, both on these videos and in the trading room. Right? I laid on a line out there. It's only going to fool myself if I'm lying on here or in my trading room. So try to be as honest as possible. And when I'm not sure or I'm a little confused as to why something happened, I'm going to tell you. This isn't easy to try to break this down on a daily basis. I think we do a really good job of it. This week, however, has been very, very tough. Real quickly on the destinations, because I want to show you the chart. Upside, price pro, 513.66. 4 sets of singles, 514.23 to 515.50. This is SPY. 516.07 to 517.84. 518.01 to 521.72. That's large. 521.88 to 522.36. And today's high of 523.78. So we have some pretty large sets of single prints there. For the downside, we have today's low of 512.76. You should have the other downside from March 19th on. ES. I'm in bigger increments, but the high, I think being in bigger increments doesn't change these numbers. I hope not. But the upside, well, let's do the downside first. Today's low is what, 94.25, I believe. And then, I'm not going to even give them to you. For people who are in my room and stuff, they'll see it tomorrow when the day opens. I recommend, if you're a full-time trader and this is your livelihood and business, I recommend putting these on your charts or writing them down. So SPY, I still write them down. But they're very visual to have on your profile. And if you don't have a profile, I suggest you writing them down. Okay? All right. Now, let's go to the chart. First, I'm going to show you the 30-minute chart because we haven't seen this in a long, long time. Look at this. Okay? So if you could tell me after the first 3, 6, 8 time frames, you're expecting this, well, then I'll give you a gold medal. Okay? The volume, the range, nothing was suggesting that, along with all the MGI we spoke about, right? Prior to it happening. Even this time frame's volume was only 3.3 million. You know, it's not like this time frame really increased volume. But then after that, oh my goodness, game over. Look at this volume, 12 million. Hold on a second. Why is that not showing me? Something's freezing here. Give me 1 second. 12 million, 14 million, 12 million, 20 million. That's powerful. I'm still not going to go out and say, okay, this is long-term money. Not going to say that yet. Because like I said, long-term money won't walk away after 4 time frames. So if this is real true selling, it should resume tomorrow and at least take out yesterday's low. So that's the 30-minute. Now the daily, down. I was not calling this, right? Even when we took out today's high, I told you I was encompassing this as one whole balance. So we needed an all-time high. Well, we didn't get it, and we took out Tuesday's low. Down. Outside day down. Now, I don't care so much we close below the 20. One day doesn't make a market. I don't care. But we are down on the daily, and it's an outside day down. And then on the weekly, it's balance. So as ugly as today was, all this is a 3-week balance right now. Now we'll see if we get a lot more tomorrow. If we do, it's going to be more than a 3-week balance. So we'll see. Remember I said we went up 21 out of 22 weeks. Don't be surprised if they wipe out a lot of weekly lows. Well, guess what? Even with this move today, we only took out last week's low so far. We didn't even take out this week's low. So there could be a lot more pain if they decide to wipe out some more of these week longs. And I want to show you triple Q also. Now, triple Qs and NQ on the weekly, still in balance. They've been in balance. But this is their balance low, the week of March 11th. They have not taken it out yet. So even with this ugly day today, still in balance, 6 weeks. But their daily is the same as us, finally down. I wasn't calling them up today. I wanted an all-time high, just like an ES. So we didn't get it. We take out Wednesday's low, Tuesday's low, outside day down, we're down. So, again, I hope everybody stayed safe. That's the purpose of my trading room, is to keep people grounded during this. I said, look, so many of you are upset that you're not participating on the sell side. Okay, that's fine. But just think of the amount of people who are long in this move. Trying to catch a knife, trying to catch a fall. It's silliness. There's no reason to do it. And that's what I try to stress to my trading room. So I'm going to go out with, it's only April 4th. We've had a bunch of people join my trading room for this special offer. $80 for 3 months, $225 for the whole year to get me live streaming my profile and breaking this down for you every day of the trading year for the most part. So come check it out. You can email me, paul@camelbacktrading.org, if you have any questions. I hope you did okay today and stayed safe. Thank you for liking and subscribing to this channel. Enjoy your evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.